Welcome to your flow and stretch. I would go ahead and grab a couple of blocks today. We are still going to stretch, but I'll give you some options if you're needing a little bit more heat today, since it is pretty cold out there. I'm going to give you the opportunity to warm up a little bit more, but as always, there are going to be plenty of options and modifications to do something a little bit more or a lot more gentle. My invitation to you today is, even if the level of intensity is a little bit more than what you're accustomed to, it's still, like I said, it's still chill. But maybe just stick with it rather than throwing in the towel, giving up. Maybe you just challenge yourself a little bit and hang with it. If you really just need to stretch and your body is exhausted, or this is your restorative-ish day, then you do you, right? I can't see you anyway, so do what you need to do. If you would like to use my Spotify playlist, it's How to Fall in Love in a Pandemic. That's what it's called. So, because, why not? So let's go ahead and cue that up. And then I'm going to have you start off seated today. So ground down through your sits bones. Let's meet in Sukhasana. Cross your feet at the ankles. Sit up nice and tall. And if your hips, your groin, any of that stuff is feeling a little funky, if the knees are super high, you can always slide your blocks underneath your outer thighs and the outer knee. Get some support that way. And roll your shoulders back and down with the crown of your head lit. It's a light drawing in of your belly, so there's no weakness to the low back, right? So when we draw in on the front side, we support, we connect on the back side. And then the knots on the front of your shoulders, draw them lightly away from one another so that that sensation of your shoulder blades pinning down to your upper back is there. But it doesn't have to be this clenching. You're not bracing for impact. So it's that magical dance between engaging but also not, right? It's life. How you do anything is how you do everything. So finding that way where you can hold without grasping, right? Where you can gently allow something to rest in your palm without crushing it. That's what you're doing in the entire physical and energetic body, right? Find a way where as you walk down the street, your muscles, your bones, they hold everything upright, they hold it all together, but without intense tension, right? Allow it to be. So roll your shoulders back and down. You can close your eyes if that feels comfortable to you, wherever it is that you are. And let's start off with just a little bit of breath work, some pranayama. Go ahead and exhale completely wherever you are in your breath cycle. And then inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1, hold at the bottom, 4, 3, 2, 1, inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold at the top for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, exhale it out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, gentle hold at the bottom for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Empty it out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Suspend at the bottom for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now just breathing in. Maybe roll your shoulders up. And breathing out, roll them back and down, lift your heart. Now on your next inhale, float your arms out and up. And on the exhale, take your right hand down, reach your left arm up and over, get a side body stretch left side. So let your left floating rail at the bottom reach up and away from the top of your hip. And then inhale, we take both arms up to the sky. On the exhale, take your left arm down, your right arm reaches up and over. Get a stretch now for your right side body. Root through your right hip, your right sit bone. And then we inhale, take both arms up to the sky. On the exhale, twist over to the right. Your left hand finds your right knee. Your right hand drops back behind you. Use your right arm like a second spine. On the inhale, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, you twist just a little bit more. Maybe your gaze goes over your right shoulder. And then inhale, reach it back front and center. Take both arms high. And then exhale, twist over to the left. Your right hand finds your left knee. Your left hand comes behind you. With the inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale to twist just a little bit more. Your gaze could follow your left shoulder, but watch the right shoulder. And then inhale, right back through front and center, arms high. On the exhale, take your elbows back and down, lift your chest. And then inhale, take your arms up to the sky. One more time, exhale, drop your right hand down, reach your left arm up and over. Inhale, both arms high. Exhale, your left arm down, your right arm reaches. Inhale, arms to the sky. Maybe you look up. Exhale, twist over to the right. Fingertips land lightly. Inhale, right back, front and center, arms high, gaze up. Exhale, twist to the left. Let your hands be light. Your spine is long. Then inhale, come right back through center. Exhale, take your elbows back and down, lift your chest. And then on the inhale, take your arms high. And then exhale, rock it forward. Come on to hands and knees. Stack your joints. So shimmy back just a little bit. Your shoulders stack over your elbows, elbows over your wrists. Bring your knees underneath your hips. Now with your inhale, drape a soft belly down. Lift your chin, lift your tail. And then on the exhale, reverse your movement. Dome out your upper back. Tuck your chin, tuck your tail, belly in and up. And then inhale, take a sway to your low back. Try to press your heart between your upper arm bones. And then exhale to reverse it. Navel to your spine. Let your head hang. Separate your shoulder blades. Inhale, take your belly down. Lift your chin, lift your tail. And then exhale to reverse it. So feel the backside of your heart space. When you're here and your rib cage is opening through the upper back, middle and upper thoracic spine, really breathe through the backside of your lungs, right? On your next inhale, come back through center. There's a soft skin between your navel and your pubic bone. You want to draw that back. Press your palms down. Curl your toes up. And on the exhale, lift your hips up and back and find a downward facing dog. So an inverted letter V. Let your heels feel heavy. Even if they don't touch the ground, y'all, we don't care. Perfection is not our aim. Perfection is unattainable and it's boring. Right? Unattainable and boring. So find the space that works in your body. And then when you're ready, on the inhale, there's a soft bend to your knees so that you can look forward. And then on the exhale, as many steps as you need to take your feet to your hands at the top of your mat. On the inhale, lengthen your spine. Take the crown of your head forward, your tailbone back, your belly up. And then on the exhale, there's a bend to the knees, ragdoll, drape your ribs to your thighs, let your head hang down, and let's grab opposite elbows for a little bit. Feel the length through the low back, through your hamstrings, and maybe you sway side to side. And then gently come right back through center. Let your hands come down. On the inhale, roll yourself all the way up to standing. Reach your arms out and up. And then on the exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. Step your feet together if that feels okay in your low back. And then Surya Namaskar A, sun salutation. Option to take the chaturangas or skip them. I'm going to cue the first one just so if you're following and that's what you feel like doing, you've got a guide. You can always skip it and I'm going to tell you how, right? So on the inhale, reach your arms out and up. And then exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Let your head hang down. Inhale to lengthen your spine. And then exhale, step it back, palms down. Step your feet to the back of your mat. You can bring your knees down immediately. It's all good. If you're going to move through chaturanga, you inhale to shift forward. On the exhale, point your elbows back. Lead with your heart, your throat, your chin. On the inhale, pull your heart forward to lift it. And then exhale, curl your toes up. Lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Now, if as we move through a couple more sun salutations, if you feel like skipping the chaturanga, all you're going to do is step your feet back and lift your hips straight up to downward facing dog rather than lowering. Inhale, take a soft bend to your knees and look forward. And then on the exhale, as many or as few steps as you need, take your feet to your hands. Inhale to lengthen your spine. And exhale, fold it down. Use your whole breath. Inhale, root your feet down. Reach your arms out and up. On the exhale, bring your hands down to your heart. Inhale, arms to the sky, look up. Exhale, fold yourself down. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale, bring your hands down, step your feet back. You have the option to lift your hips straight up to downward facing dog. If you want the chaturanga, you shift forward, bend your elbows, lead with your heart, your throat, your chin. Inhale, pull your heart through and lift it. And then exhale, hips go high, downward facing dog. Let's take two more of those. Inhale, roll to the balls of your feet, gaze forward. Exhale, take your feet to your hands. It doesn't matter, as many steps as you need. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Lift your sits bones. Now inhale, come all the way up to standing. Urdhva Hastasana, maybe your palms seal overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Just be here. And then inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Inhale, tabletop your spine. Exhale, chaturanga or not at all. You can step back and lift your hips. It's all good, y'all. Inhale. If you went down, you're going to take upward facing dog or cobra pose. And then exhale, downward facing dog, breathe. Last one. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, step your feet forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold yourself down. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, meeting in downward facing dog. So you do you, chaturanga or not. All right, y'all. On the inhale, bend into your knees, gaze forward. And then exhale, step your feet to your hands. Inhale to lengthen your spine. And then exhale, fold it back down. This time on the inhale, bend your knees, sit your hips back and down. Utkatasana, chair pose. So belly's in, arms reach up overhead. Take an inhale here, and then exhale, fold yourself down. So we're going to modify these kind of sun salutation B's here. On the inhale, lengthen your spine. On the exhale, step your left foot to the back of your mat. Bend your right knee. Left heel goes flat. Inhale, bring your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head. So Virabhadrasana A. So skipping the chaturangas and all of that at this point. Just take your inhale, reach your fingertips higher. On the exhale, bring your hands down and step your left foot forward and forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, bring your hands down, step your right foot back, bend into your left knee. Inhale, warrior one. Bring your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head. Feel the outer edge of your right foot pressing down. Inhale, reach a little bit higher. Exhale, bring your hands down and step your right foot forward, forward fold. Now breath to movement. Feet are either hip width distance or they come all the way together. Inhale, bend your knees, sit your hips back and down. Reach your arms up overhead. And then exhale, fold yourself down. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, step your left foot back. Inhale, warrior one, right side, right knee bends. Exhale, hands to the ground, frame your front foot, step your left foot forward and forward fold. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale, step your right foot to the back of your mat. Inhale, warrior one, left side, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to the ground, step your right foot forward and forward fold, chest to your side. Let your head hang. Last round. Inhale, bend your knees, sit your hips low, reach your arms high. And exhale, fold yourself down. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, step your left foot to the back of your mat, bend your right knee. Inhale, warrior one, shoulders over your hips, arms up over your head. Exhale, hands to the ground. Step your left foot forward and forward fold. Lift your sits bones, drop your head. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, step your right foot to the back of your mat. Bend your right knee. Inhale, shoulders over hips, arms up over your head. And exhale, hands to the ground. Step your right foot forward and forward fold. Let it go. Nicely done. Now inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms out and up. You're going to take one little kind of halfway sun salutation. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Chaturanga or skip it. We're meeting in downward facing dog. You do you. Step your feet back. Either lift your hips straight away or shift forward and lower. Inhale, back bend of your choice. Exhale, take your hips high. All right, y'all. On the inhale, take a bend to your knees, gaze forward. I hope your body is a little bit warmer than when we started. And on the exhale, step your feet to the top of your mat. Take your feet about hip width distance apart. On the inhale, lengthen your spine. And then on the exhale, loop peace fingers around your big toe. And then pull your big toe up and away from the ground. With your inhale, lengthen through your arms. Take your crown forward, your tailbone back, your belly up. And then exhale, really pull your frontal ribs to the tops of your thighs and bend your elbows. Let your head hang. Press down into the medial and the, so you're wanting to press down to both arches of your feet, right? So not just the outer edge, but also your inner edge. Let your head hang, bend your elbows, pull yourself in. Relax your shoulders from your ears. on the exhale, slide your hands underneath your feet, palms to the soles. Your toes might find your wrists. And if that's not available, just bring your hands down and take a forward fold. Just stretching a little bit through the wrists here as well. Inhale, straighten through your arms. Take your crown forward. And then exhale, really bend your elbows and bring your chest to your thighs. Let your head hang. All right, y'all. Slide your hands out from underneath your feet. Heel toe your feet together. And then perhaps you grab onto one of your blocks. And then on the inhale, come all the way up to standing. You can leave your block there for now. Reach your arms out and up. And then exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. Roll your shoulders back and down. Step your right foot to the back of your mat and then turn your right toes towards the short edge. Your left toes are facing towards the long edge. On the inhale, bump your left hip back. Reach your right fingertips forward. And then as you exhale, drop your right hand down. It can either come to a block, your left arm reaches to the sky. So it's Utthita Trikonasana. But ideally your torso lines up on the top of your right thigh. So if you notice that you're dropping yourself to the inside of your right thigh and sticking your butt out, pull your right butt cheek slightly under and slide it towards your left heel, your left inner arch. And then stack your rib cage on top of your right thigh. Drishti goes towards your left fingertips. And it's preferable for you to come up higher if that's what you have to do to get stacked over your leg. And breathe. And then on your inhale, lift your shoulders back over your hips. Rebend your right knee. Gaze over your right fingertips. Relax your shoulders back and down. Now you might slightly pull your pinkies back so you open through your chest, through your collarbones. Inhale here. On the exhale, bring your right forearm to your right thigh. Reach your left arm to the sky or all the way up and over to get a side body stretch on the left side. Now your right hand could also come down to a block. It can come down to your right foot, in front of, or behind. Gaze goes to your left hand if that feels okay in your cervical spine, but relax your face. On your next inhale, lift your shoulders back over your hips. And on the exhale, straighten your right leg, turn your right toes towards the long edge of your mat. On the inhale, reach your arms out and up. Now your toes are slightly pigeon-toed or at least parallel to the long edge of your mat. And on the exhale, hinge forward and then drop the crown of your head towards the ground. On the inhale, you might lengthen your spine slightly. And then on the exhale, drop a little bit lower. Breathe. Tuck your chin. Relax your shoulders from your ears. So this is your Prasarita Padottanasana. On the inhale, lengthen your spine. And then as you exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Now inhale, come all the way up to standing. On the exhale, turn your left toes towards the short edge of your mat. Your right toes are towards the long edge. So setting up for your triangle pose left side. Open your arms out to a T. And slide this block out of the way. Bump your right hip back and then reach your left fingertips forward. Drop your left hand down and reach your right arm up to the sky. Now remember, left side ribs stack on top of your left thigh bone. Right arm to the sky. Breathing here. Squeeze at the base of your pubic bone, so Mula Bandha to help keep you upright. On your inhale, bring your shoulders back over your hips. Rebend your left knee. Arms are out to a T. Hold for your exhale. So Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana B. Take your inhale to lengthen your spine, but on the exhale, it's your side angle or extended side angle pose. Your left forearm can come to your left thigh. Just make sure you're not putting all of your weight into it. You do want to use your core strength to hold you up. And your right fingertips either go towards the sky or reach up and over so you get this deep stretch through the right side body. On your inhale, lift your shoulders back over your hips, arms out like a T. Exhale, straighten your left leg and turn your left toes towards the long edge of your mat. This time on the inhale, reach your arms out and up. On the exhale, bind up your hands at the small of your back. So you're going to make a little fist or grab opposite elbows, whatever feels right in your body, right? So about a hasta if it's there. On the inhale, puff up your chest, roll your shoulders back. And on the exhale, hinge through your hips. Let your crown start to come down and your fist works its way up and over towards the earth. Keep an internal rotation of your humerus, your upper arm bone. And breathe. Take one more inhale here. And then on the exhale, release your hands down to the ground. Inhale to lengthen your spine. On the exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, turn your right toes towards the back of your mat again. Now, I'm going to step my left toes out slightly so that I'm not so much on a tightrope. It's more like railroad tracks. Now, on the inhale, reach your arms out and up. As you exhale, drop your left hand in between your shoulder blades. Let your right hand grab your left elbow. Give a little tricep stretch. Now, some of you will stay just like this. If you want to take your right arm and wrap it around the small of your back, so these are Gomukhasana arms. It's not quite there for me today, so I'm just going to grab my shirt. Now, root down into the big toe ball mound of your right foot. You might even shorten your stance a little bit here. Squeeze your inner thighs towards one another. Take an inhale, lift through your left elbow, and then on the exhale, hinge at your right hip, and take your left elbow down towards your right big toe. And breathe. I feel like my shin is like in everything. Take one more inhale. And then release your hands down as you exhale. So frame your front foot with your hands, and then on your inhale, lengthen your spine. With the exhale, bring your left hand down to the ground. Take your right hand to the small of your back first. You're probably going to need to pull your right hip back slightly and the left hip forward, trying to keep everything squared and level. And then keep that as is, and then start to stack your right shoulder on top of the left. So nothing changes in the hips or the low back. It's just your middle and upper thoracic spine. Ooh, that's my spot too. And then you can take your right arm to the sky if it feels right. And then traditional gaze point would be at your right hand. If that bothers your neck, skip it. One more inhale. On the exhale, drop your right hand back down to the ground. On the inhale, bend into your right knee, but go ahead and soften your left knee down. So ideally catching a diagonal on your left hip to thigh to knee, but a 90 degree in the right knee. On your inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And then on the exhale, take a twist over to the right. Your left elbow to the outside of your right knee, your right thigh. Hands can come to heart center. Think of stacking, but watch if your left hip starts to drop down, because it's just trying to make space for your twist. The twist is not in the low back or the hips. It's up here, right? So if this starts to take the brunt, it just means you went too deep and maybe you need to come out a little bit, right? And that's all good. Again, perfection is unattainable and it's boring. So don't worry about it. Take one more inhale, and then exhale, frame your front foot with your hands. Shift your hips back just for a second so you get out of your right hamstring, kind of let go. And on the inhale, walk yourself back forward. Curl up your back toes, lift your back knee. On the exhale, just spin over towards the left. You're facing the long edge of your mat. And then on the inhale, come all the way up to standing, nice and slow. Reach your arms out and up. And then exhale, turn your left toes towards the top of your mat. Again, I'm going to step my right foot out pretty considerably so that I'm more on railroad tracks. And ideally your left hip draws back, right hip forward. On the inhale, reach your arms out and up. Exhale, drop your right fingertips in between your shoulder blades. Stay right here for a second. Get a stretch through your right tricep. And then if you want it, Gomukhasana arms. Internally rotate your left upper arm bone, reach your left fingertips up towards the right. Again, for me, it's totally not there today. So I'm going to grab onto my shirt. If your chin started to press down into your chest or your clavicles, slightly lift it. And then with the inhale, reach your right elbow higher. And then on the exhale, hinge forward. Take your right elbow towards your left ankle. Ooh, it's a lot. Press down into the big toe ball mound of your left foot. Feel the massage at the base of your calf, but also perhaps a little bit more grounded, rooted, supported, right? Take one more inhale here. And then exhale, release your hands down. Let your left hip pull back, right hip forward. Now with the inhale, lengthen your spine. Right hand stays rooted as you exhale. Take your left hand to the small of your back first, because like I just now noticed my right hip was dropping down a lot. So I have to lift it and pull it back. There it is. And then once you're there, with intention, take your left shoulder and begin to stack it on top of the right. The left clavicle on top of the right. And then maybe your left hand reaches to the sky. Gaze follows the left thumb if it's there. Let's take one more inhale here. And on the exhale, let your left hand come down. Wiggle your right toes back. Inhale, bend into your left knee. Soften your right knee down to the ground. Stay here, kind of get yourself ready in your exhale. And then inhale, bring your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head. And then exhale, twist over to the left, your right elbow to the outside of your left knee, your left thigh. Hands can come to heart center. There's a deep opening around your heart space. And so the inhale is where you lengthen your spine. Think of the crown of your head reaching. The exhale is where you twist a little bit more, but don't overdo it. Take one more inhale here. And then on the exhale, frame your front foot with your hands. Inhale, let your hips soften down and forward. And then exhale, shift your hips back, straighten through your left leg. Just get a little space there. And then on your inhale, slowly walk yourself back forward. Curl up your back toes, lift your back knee. And on the exhale, take a giant step forward and forward fold at the top of your mat. Let your head go. And on your inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms out and up. And then exhale, hands come down to heart center. So root down to the four corners of your left foot. And, pull your right knee in towards your chest. Nice and slow. You have the option to stay right here with your right knee bent. If you want to take peace fingers to your right big toe, left hand to your left hip, you can extend your right leg out. Really pull your right thigh bone in towards the hip socket and then draw your right shoulder back. And you're breathing. Nothing else matters. Wobbling is fine. Take one more inhale. On the exhale, your leg goes to the right and your gaze goes to the left. Knee can still be bent. And on your inhale, bring it right back through center. And then slowly release it down as you exhale. Roll out your left ankle. Let's just switch sides. Right foot roots down. Bring your left knee in towards your chest. You can interlace your fingers around your shin, like just kind of feel it out here. And then choose what you want. Ideally matching what you did on one side to this side. You can stay with a bent left knee. Your right hand comes to your right hip. You can loop peace fingers around your left big toe. Extend your left leg forward, but breathe. Now your legs straight or bent. Take an inhale. Exhale, leg goes to the left, gaze goes to the right. And you breathe. On your inhale, bring your left leg back forward. And then exhale, place your left foot down onto the ground. Roll out your right ankle if you need to. And then same thing, but different. Root down into your left foot. And then bring your right foot in towards your ankle. You could also slide your right foot up in towards your calf or in towards your inner thigh. So it's a tree pose. Your left leg is the base. If this feels great, you can also take a half lotus, right? And the knife edge of your right foot just goes into your left hip crease. And then your right knee just opens out and breathe. If you're here, you can wrap your right forearm around the small of your back in a half bind, just breathing here. Relax your face, your brow, your jaw. Take one more inhale. It's a very gentle release of your right foot to the ground as you exhale. And then root down into the four corners of your right foot. Slide your left foot in. Your foot can either come to the ankle, the calf, the inner thigh, I'm wobbly. Or if you want to go Ardha Padmasana and take your outer edge of your left foot towards your right hip crease and then just let your left knee open. Be there. And then your left forearm can wrap around the small of your back, grab onto your right elbow. Take one more inhale here. And on the exhale, let your left foot come down to the ground, release, relax it out, let it go. On the inhale, float your arms out and up. On the exhale, hinge forward, let your head hang down. And then inhale, lengthen your spine. And on the exhale, take it back and down. Chaturanga is the option, or straight up into downward facing dog. I already did Bob just now. And from your downward facing dog, drop down onto your hands and your knees. Let's find all fours. And from all fours, root your left palm down to the ground. Inhale to reach your right arm to the sky. And then thread the needle right arm underneath the left. Come down onto your right shoulder, your right ear, your temple. Let your left arm reach forward. Or you can wrap around the small of your back in a half bind. So you do you. I'm going to stay like this and really press my left armpit towards my right elbow crease, because I need more of a stretch through the upper back on the right side. And then slide wherever your left hand went, bring it right back in front of your face. And then inhale, reach your right arm back to the sky. And exhale, bring your right hand down. Root your right palm down, inhale, float your left arm up. And on the exhale, thread the needle, left arm weaves underneath the right. Keep your palm facing up. Come down into your left shoulder, your ear, your temple. You can reach your right arm forward. You can wrap around the small of your back in a half bind. I'm going to really take my right armpit towards my left. What is that? Elbow. And then slide your right hand back in front of your face. Press the palm. Inhale, float your left arm high. And on the exhale, bring your left hand down. If you need to take a cat-cow or anything like that from here, I'm going to go to Anahata Asana, which is your puppy pose. You keep your hips over your knees, but walk your hands forward and then drape your chest down. First karma would bring your forehead down to the ground. Deep opening in your upper and middle thoracic spine. Also, you can bring your chin down, gaze forward. Take one more inhale here. And then on the exhale, just take your hips back towards your heels. Reach your arms back. And find a child's pose. Slowly roll yourself up. Walk it forward. Bring your feet out in front of you. And bring your hands down next to your hips. Tuck your chin slightly. So get a lengthening through the back of your neck. Press your palms down and engage your legs in such a way that they kind of float up off of the mat. Pull your belly in and up. And squeeze at the base of your pubic bone. So mula bandha. Feel your lats. Feel everything engage here. And then slowly release. Inhale, float your arms out and up. Take a bend to the knees if you choose. And on the exhale, fold over your legs and reach your hands forward. It doesn't matter if you actually connect to your thigh or to your feet with your hands, but you do want your chest and your thighs to connect. Shoulders back and down. Pull your heart forward. Breathe. And I'm going to arch my back for a second because I feel like stretching it out. And then re-soften. Slowly come up one vertebra at a time. Bend into your knees. Bring your feet underneath you. Bring your hands behind you with your fingertips pointing towards you. Spread your fingers out wide. And on the inhale, lift your hips up into a reverse tabletop. Feel your triceps, but really feel your body kind of plank out, but with your knees bent, gaze to the sky. Now, only if your neck really can support this, you could drop your head back. Take one more inhale. And then exhale to slowly sit yourself down. From here, take your right leg out in front of you. Bring the sole of your left foot towards your right inner thigh. Inhale to reach your arms out and up. And then Janu Sirsasana A. On the exhale, spin your navel towards your right thigh bone. Reach your arms forward. It's all good if your hands just come down and frame your right leg. If your hands clear your right foot, right hand grabs the left wrist, and take your ribs to your right thigh. On your inhale, lift your gaze. And on the exhale, you release and walk it back. Take your left leg out. And bring the sole of your right foot towards your left inner thigh. And then on the inhale, arms up overhead. Let your floating ribs lift up and away from the tops of your hips. And then exhale to fold it forward. This side, the left hand would grab the right wrist, but it's not necessary, y'all. So if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I like to inhale, lengthen my spine. Exhale, go a little bit deeper, bend the elbows, come down. Relax your brows and your jaw. And on your inhale, lengthen your spine, lift your gaze. And on the exhale, we release. Walk it back up. Perfect. Extend both legs out in front of you. Scoot yourself forward. And find a C curve to your spine so that you can roll down one vertebra at a time, taking your time. Bend your knees underneath, or your feet underneath your knees once you come down. And then your hands can come down next to your hips. For Setu Bandhasan, your traditional bridge pose. On the inhale, press your feet down and away from you, but lift your hips. And breathe. You might work your arms underneath your shoulders. You could even make a fist underneath your sacrum. One more inhale here. And on the exhale, lower it down, nice and easy. Take your arms out like a T and then take your feet out wide. So side edges of your mat, and then drop your knees to the right, turn your face to the left. And on your inhale, come back through center. Let your low back press down into the mat first. And then exhale, drop your knees to the left and turn your face to the right. Come right back through center. On the exhale, hug your knees and towards your chest. You can wrap your arms around your shins. You can rock side to side. And then a happy baby when you're ready. Either peace fingers to your big toes or hands to the inner outer arches of your feet. Let your low back relax down to the mat. Allowing for the feet to flex towards the sky, knees towards your armpits. One more inhale. And then exhale to release. Hug your knees in. And then press your feet up to the sky. If you would like to take or make small movements, you do little figure 8s on the ceiling. Feel that massage through your low back. You could also just be still. And then hug your knees back in towards your chest. Round your forehead up to your knees. Take a deep inhale. And then on the exhale, extend your feet forward. Let them hang comfortably open. Your arms can come down by the side body. Or they can kind of just sprawl out, whatever it is that you need. Find your space. And rest. What you need is to be here a little bit longer. Just tune me out. Stay where you are. Otherwise, begin to deepen your breath. And to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And on your inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Find a full body stretch. And on the exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest. You have the option to roll over to the right or rock straight up to your comfortable, easy sit, just right where you are. You choose. We'll all meet there in Sukhasana, the same way we started practice today. Ankles crossed, hearts high. And give yourself that final moment, that pause, to be grateful for your body, for what it does for you today, to be hopeful for tomorrow. Remembering, residing in your power. You're so much more powerful than you think you are, right? Everything is just fine. Everything is good. Good. Thank you all for being here whenever it is that you take this practice. I appreciate you, I see you, I honor you.